else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, and shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few can torn away, I'm in a bad mood. Please don't fuck with me today, what else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, and shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few can torn away, I'm in a bad mood. I bring, please don't fuck with me today. They say Prissy ain't on top of his shit, I beg to differ. Nah, fuck that, I don't beg.
Okay. Like I said, you know, dude wouldn't call me by my name. He just kept calling me W. That's what my name became. And I pretty much was W like all of, you know, my I want to say that was my, well, that was my sophomore year, because like I said, I was behind a grade because I failed in the 9th grade, and I did that on purpose. Like, I didn't really do any of the work I was supposed to be doing. Like, a lot of people thought I was stupid, but I wasn't stupid. Stupid enough to, you know, fail on purpose, but I wasn't stupid as in I didn't understand shit. I understood everything, but I just didn't want to be in school. I got tired of being fucking picked on. You know, because like I said, it wasn't just the students that were picking on me. It was the fucking faculty too. Like, I wore a trench coat to school, and I kind of forgot, you know, about Columbine, even though that was years, you know, like before that. I still had forgot, you know, about the Columbine shit. So when I wore a trench coat to school, I got picked on about that all day because I had to take it off. You know, I mean, I wasn't gonna wear it all day anyway. I just had it on because it was raining, and it was raining real hard, and it was the only thing that I had at home to wear, you know, that protected me in, well, the rain and the cold air. So I wore it to school, and the minute I got in the door, before I could even take it off myself, the principal, you know, said, "You can't wear that in here, son. Take that off." You know, and then he was telling me to put it in the locker because he told me I couldn't carry it around with me, but I told him I don't have any other choice because I don't have a locker. And he seemed to have gotten mad about that, but I mean, hey, I didn't have no money, you know, to afford a locker. My parents didn't have that money. So, you know, I had to stuff it in my backpack, and I kind of fucked up my backpack because I didn't really have a good backpack. I had the shit my mother would buy me from like Kmart or somewhere, you know, and so I just had to stuff it down in my backpack and kind of carry some of my books around in my hand, you know, cause you know, and that fucked up because, like I said, the jacket was wet, and so some things I had in there that I forgot to take out, they got wet, and it was just a whole lot of shit. Because I remember I ended up wetting up some of my art, and I was pissed off about that. But anyway, some of the kids saw me, you know, that morning when Mr. Ware stopped me, because that was the principal name, when he stopped me and told me I had to take it off. And some of the kids in my class, you know, saw me, and also some other people that was in the same grade as me and some people above me. And I got picked on all day about having that. And so, like, my English teacher, you know, she used to pick on me a lot, and because I used to be in a bad mood pretty much most of the time when I came to school, because I was sick of being picked on. I really didn't want to wake up that morning. Like, all throughout high school, I wanted to take my life. Like, and I legit did try a few times, but I didn't succeed because I really didn't want to do it. Even though, like, well, I mean, I wanted to do it, but then a part of me was like, no, you know, I gotta keep going. But I hated waking up every morning. There was a lot of times I wished that I just died in my sleep. That's what I used to feel. And so, you know, I would come to school mad just about every day. Like, sometimes I would laugh and joke, you know, here and there, but I was never really happy. You know, I was pissed off. And to be honest, at the time, I was just mad, and I was just sick of everybody around me. But, like, my teacher, my English teacher, and some of the students, they used to joke about me coming to the school to blow it up. And while I didn't have no plans to do that, after them constantly saying it, I started thinking about, you know, maybe I should. And when I got a paperback from my English teacher, she said something to me about, like, if you gonna come and blow up the school, let me know. That's what she said to me. You know, some fucked up shit to say to a student, 9th grader at that. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna blow up the school, you're gonna be the last person I'm gonna tell. You know? Like, so I was pissed off about that the whole day, and then I kept getting picked on by the other folks in my class that claimed they was my friends. You know, like I said, you know, the shit that we had to grow up in. And I remember talking to Janae about it, actually, you know, because this is going to segue back into Janae. And she was telling me about, you know, how, you know, situation with her family and her brother, or brothers, I don't know. But, you know, and I just told her I didn't want to do anything like that. You know, I didn't want to have my parents come up there and talk to the teacher, or, you know, tell them about the students that was doing such and such. You know, because while I was fucked up about everything and I was pissed off, I didn't want to look like any more of a punk, you know, than I already was looking. You know, I already wasn't really fighting back. And a lot of times I would just ignore people or just throw up a middle finger, you know. You know, I didn't want to look like a punk, like even more of a punk. I would much rather try to stand my ground in some kind of way. Like, even if I said the corniest shit in retaliation, at least I stood up for myself. So, all throughout high school, I never ever told my mother and father or anybody in my family about what was going on. Because I didn't want nobody coming up to the school trying to talk about, you know, why y'all doing this and saying this to my son. And then they probably be like, oh, I haven't said nothing. And the students be like, oh, we ain't been, you know, Eddie doing this, Eddie doing that. That's what they would say. And I didn't want to go through that. Because then, like I said, later on, they'd be like, oh, I see you a little snitch. That's what they probably would have said. So, you know, I never said nothing. Like, when I did finally say shit, it was way later. I had been out of school, and my mother was like, you pick a fine time to say something. I told her, because I didn't want anything to happen back then. Because it would have made the situation worse. Trying to go and tell my mother or tell my godmother, tell my father. And I know how my father was. He would have went up to his school and raised hell. Like, he actually did raise hell when he couldn't even check me out of school because my mother didn't have him on the list, even though he was the one picking me up from school all the time. But when I got suspended one day and I called them, they wouldn't let him check me out because his name went on there. My father blew up. You know, so I didn't want that shit happening over something else. And so like I said, I never said nothing. But anyway, you know, I kind of forgot what I really was talking about that led me into talking about this. But, I guess I just go back to saying, you know, like I said, I'm an emotional person. I always have been. I care about a lot of stuff. Shit I probably shouldn't care about. Things affect me. I react, you know. And while I try to work on it, you know, I feel like I'm suppressing myself. I'm suffocating a part of me that really needs to be out there, a part of me that needs to breathe. And I feel like I've been doing that for years. Like, you know, when I got in a relationship with Janae, I knew there were things I had to change. And some of that was the stuff I was saying in my music. And for a while, I was still saying certain things, and I know she felt disrespected, you know, because it was just what I was used to saying. And like I told her, I said, it was just shit I was just saying in the songs. I didn't exactly, you know, mean that I wanted to go do that. But of course, her hearing it, me talking about models, this and that, you know, she felt like I didn't like her like that, or I didn't love her enough, or really that I didn't respect her. And I get that, because that was mad disrespectful. You know, I was just trying to maintain the image I had already, you know, solidified, you know. Then I also thought, because, you know, a lot of rappers are in relationships or married and whatnot, but they still talk about shit like that. And, you know, again, I know I'm not them, but I still felt like that I could keep doing what I was doing and that she would be okay with it. Because like I told her, it was just music. That part of it was just me just, you know, doing the typical shit that rappers do. And the shit that I always wanted to do, to be honest, because that's the shit that I had always been interested in. And when I really got to the point where I could write good lines about stuff like that, well, you know, I went crazy. And like I said, I get, you know, being in a relationship with her, though, that was the wrong thing to do. And, you know, I regret that she had to witness all that she had to feel like she wasn't important, And that's why I started trying to rectify it though. Later on, I stopped talking about a lot of this stuff in my music, and I really just started talking about her. But then once I started doing that, a lot of people didn't want to listen to my music anymore. And that's when she started telling me, well, they obviously weren't really your fans. And they probably weren't, because I feel like if they really liked my stuff, no matter what I talked about, they would listen to it. Unless it was something that went against a particular belief that they had. Because like this one dude I used to be cool with named Epitaph, that ain't his real name, just the name he uses on Facebook. His real name is Lawrence, I think. But regardless, he was the one who really made the complaint about me, constantly rapping about my girlfriend. And while she was crazy about it, she loved it. He didn't like it because he felt like I was doing it too much. And I told him, I was doing it because that's what she wanted to hear. And, honestly, being with her helped me grow a bit, as a rapper, because I got a chance to really talk about things that were going on between me and her. And it seems like I could handle situations better when I wrote songs and stuff about us. And it helped me because, like, one thing I always realized when I first started rapping is that I could get my emotions out. Things that I wasn't really saying at first because I was afraid to speak up, I found the words to say. And it made it so much better because I was rapping about it and because I could do it in a creative way. So yeah, I would rap about her a lot, regardless whether it was the bad stuff that we had went through. But the majority of the time when I talked about her in songs, I mostly talked about how much I loved her and how I wanted to build a future with her, and that I was working hard with the music because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take care of her. I wanted to take care of her and my mother, and that's why, I really was rapping about her like I did, But he didn't like it. And I feel like the reason why he didn't is because I believe Epitaph had been single for a long time and he just didn't really care to be in a relationship. And I understand that pain, because that's how I felt at first until I got with her. And it took a while for me to just really, settle into the comfort, of being with somebody that I love and that loves me. Because like I said, at first, I was still on edge, touchy about certain things. Because she was the first, I won't say first serious relationship, because I feel like me and Sonya was serious. And even me and Kyra was serious. But with Janae, it was serious in that aspect that I decided I wanted to make myself better. And that I wanted to work harder and do certain things. That I wanted to reach heights I had never, reached before. I wanted to do things I had never done before. And now I'm bitter because I've spent all this time getting the courage up, getting the willpower, the wherewithal to go about with these changes, to commit to certain things, to tell her, yo, I want to move in together, that I want to, have a family with you. I want to provide for you. I know I couldn't do it right now and I wasn't doing anything for her. I would never bought her anything, but I wanted to do that. At the time, like I said, the way the situation was, the way things were in my life, and honestly currently still are, I couldn't do anything for her. And I get it. While she said that she didn't really care about me not, having a job or not having money, I know she did. I think she just said that to me to not hurt my feelings, at the time. Now, she probably would say something to me now, about it because she don't care about my feelings now. But at the same time, I feel like she still do. Like I said, some of the actions don't match up because she'll say certain things that she know that hurt me, but then it's like she stopped herself. So to an extent, she still cares. Even if she tell me she don't, she still care. And that's why I said the message is always mixed sometimes, because she'll tell me she don't want to talk to me, that she don't want nothing to do with me. But then when I was trying to talk to her about, that when I was still trying to talk to her about us being together, she told me to stop, or she was never going to talk to me, at all, and whatnot. And so, like I said, I feel like know, if it really was that she didn't want to talk to me, she would have never went back and forth with me for almost a whole day. Like, one thing I could say that I felt like was a petty thing was when she sent me a message back but nothing was in it. And I thought maybe she sent an emoji that I couldn't see. But actually, come to find out, she really didn't say nothing at all. So she just sent me an empty message. Which I felt like, you know, if you didn't want to reply, you shouldn't have replied. You know, that's the way I feel. But I felt like she sent that empty message to fuck with me. And I say this because she accused me of doing something to get a reaction out of her. But that was not my intention. However, I did get a reaction out of her. So much so that she blocked me. And that she was upset about it. And that's what made her say that I wasn't a positive influence. But I don't see how that one thing, which was not me trying to start anything, it was simply me saying how I felt and asking her a simple question. Now, she simply could have just said, no, I'm not talking to anybody. And that would have been it. But she asked me what it was I wanted to do. So I told her. Now, conversely, I guess you could say, I admit that maybe I shouldn't have said that I need to know because so I can make a decision. I shouldn't have said that. But I feel like even if I didn't say that and I just asked her, is she talking to somebody? She would have asked me, why do you want to know? You know? Because like when I did explain to her what I wanted to do, she said, well, if that's how you feel, then go right ahead. You know, or do what you have to do. I think that's what she said. And I told her, I said, it's not how I feel, but it's not how, well, it was how I felt, but it wasn't what I really wanted to do. I told her, I said, I just feel like I have no other option. Because like I said, if she gets with somebody else, I already know that there ain't gonna be no communication between us. No, because she's not the same person she was. And that the one thing I never really knew, even when we were just friends, is that I never knew when she was talking to people. I never knew that she had been kissing dudes and shit like that, you know? And regardless, even though me and her were just friends, that shit still pissed me off. And she was like, why are you mad? We weren't even talking then. And I told her, I said, yeah, but we still had some type of connection. I mean, I used to rap about having sex with her. And she used to love hearing that shit. So yeah, I felt a little, you know, disrespected. Even though, like I said, we were just friends. But it's because we shared this kind of intimacy even before we started dating. We had this connection. And maybe initially it was just a sexual attraction. But for me, again, you know, I don't just be wanting to fuck everything I see. You know, a lot of guys are like that. They see a woman that look good, they be like, man, I wonder how she is in the sack. That's not how I feel. I see a woman that look good, I be like, yeah, she look good, and that's it. But with Janae, you know, just to be explicit, I wanted to have sex with her because I cared about her. You know, I know it sounds crazy, but, you know, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make love to her. You know, I loved her. I liked her loved her personality. You know, and, you know, even though I really didn't find out a lot of stuff until much later, but the things I did know, those things made me, you know, really into her. You know, her sarcasm, the way that she was initially down for me, like a lot of times I could ask her to do something for me and she might say something like, I'll think about it. Then she'll probably text me a little bit later. Okay, yes. Like when I asked her to write my rap name, you know, on her breast. And she told me she would think about it and she turned around and did it. And she wrote fine print misread right across her breast. And that meant a lot to me. So much so that I took the picture and I displayed it. I mean, I asked her if it was okay first because like I told her, I was probably using it for like my music anyway, but I turned around and displayed it, you know, as a cover photo. Of course, a lot of women were upset when I posted it and they was like, why are you posting these saggy breasts and shit like that? But like I told them, I said the breasts weren't saggy. I had to scratch out the picture to get it the shape I wanted it to be. You know, so I had to take that and then I had to reshape it, and that totally destroyed the photo because it made it like her breasts were just, you know, but that's not how they work. You know, Janae is just well endowed And so, you know, trying to fit the picture into the dimensions I needed it to be, you know, elongated her breasts, and they looked like elephant ears at the time when I did that, you know. But, you know, and anyway, a bunch of women were upset about it. And like I said, none of y'all were going to do it for me, because I remember Kyra, my ex Kyra, being one of the main ones complaining about it. And I told her, I said, were you going to do it? She was like, hell no. And I was like, well, stop complaining then. Stop being mad that somebody did it for me. You know? And I can't lie, that's the shit that I miss about Janae. You know, not having that connection to her. Like, not that I just really want her to write stuff on her breast and shit, but I'm just saying, not having that connection to her where she would have did anything, you know, is what I miss. And, like, that's what made me want to do anything for her. That's the reason why I said, and I think one of my last videos, I said, you know, I mean, I even told her this. I said, you are wife material, you girlfriend material, you're worthy of being taken care of. Even while, like I said, I'm mad about decisions and things she said and stuff like that, you know, her, you know, her, the things about her, and I get it, like she said, she's not the same anymore. But for some reason, I still feel like there are parts of her that still are. And like I said, if I have to be honest, I feel like she's fighting something. I know she get mad at me for saying that, and she was like, I'm not fighting anything. You know, you're wrong. You know, I don't feel any type of way about you. You know, I'm over you. I don't want you. But, you know, but then when I say certain things, and then she be like, I didn't say that. Like when I said, I know you don't like me or love me anymore. And she was like, I never said I didn't like you. So, now, again, that like could be something totally different. But she knew what I meant when I said, I know you don't like me. But she said, I never said I didn't like you. So that's why I feel now, like if she watches this, she gonna tell me, you know, you're still wrong. I don't like you in that type of way. You know, but I believe that she knew what I meant when I said, I know you don't like me. You know? Because I meant like as in being attracted to me, you know, and being attracted to the person that I am. That's what I meant. That's why I said, I know you don't like or love me anymore. But I would like it if you would still be into my, you know, writing and stuff like that. And she said, I never said I didn't like you. Now, I'm going to say something. And I'm going to say this is the reason why I continue to try to get through to her. Because I feel like if she does still like me, if she does still have some type of mustard seed size of affinity for me, that there is a chance to start over. Again, I still think whenever I say that, she misunderstands me as saying that I want to get right back together. But like I have to keep saying, that's not what I mean. I know you don't want to do the long distance relationship. All I want to do is just start from scratch. Get to know each other all over again. Get to know the person that you are now, what it is that you're really looking for. Because if you're more, you know, certain of what you want now, then explain that to me. Like, the one thing I can say is that with Kyra, I never had an issue with her telling me what it was she wanted. You know, it's just that I couldn't live up to it at the time. You know, and somewhat I feel like Janae doesn't want to tell me what it is that she really wants because, you know, maybe she knows that I can't be that. That I can't, you know, meet those expectations. But what she doesn't understand, or maybe she does understand, but she just doesn't care. But if she doesn't understand, I'm just going to say this. Not telling me what it is that you really want now, that you've changed, is actually doing a disservice to me. You know, it's like if you really, you know, want me to get over the past, and if you seriously want me to get over you, just tell me everything. Tell me what it is you're really looking for. Like, you keep telling me that you're disappointed and stuff. So I feel like that you really wanted us to work. And I did too. Like, I'm with you on that. I'm disappointed too. And I'm really disappointed in myself. I'm bitter as hell. And I'm bitter, like I said, mad at myself and somewhat mad at you. And I guess I could say I'm mad at you for giving up. Especially when you practically begged me not to give up on you. You said, give me time. And I said, I will. You got all the time. I'll be right here with you. Not my exact words, but the words I said still meant the same thing. So I'm not giving up on you, just as long as you don't give up on me. But even with her giving up on me, I still don't want to give up on her. I still want to see her be that person. But she doesn't want to be that person. She doesn't want me to be that person. But then she says to me, you know, that she's disappointed over how things went. She was like, I'm not mad at you anymore. I'm just disappointed. Disappointment leads to resentment, though. And that leads to, you know, her actually being angry in some type of way. You know, it leads to microaggressions. You know, and while she may think that when I do and say certain things that that's what I'm doing, that I'm, you know, committing microaggressions against her, and I'm not trying to. So if I am, that is not intentional. I get that saying certain things come off that way, but I'm an honest person. Like, even when I had cheated, I never lied to Janae. I never told her that I didn't cheat, none of that, because she never asked me. She never asked me about that. And the whole thing with me is that I wanted to tell her in the right way. I didn't want to just come out and be like, yo, I cheated. I wanted to explain to her why things happened, and that I was sorry, and that it'll never happen again, and that I want to heal from this. I want us to come out better. And that's what I honestly thought that we were doing. But, you know, she's still, you know, kind of angsty about that whole situation. And I could tell from the way that she really went off about it. Because she really wrote me a long message about that. Because, you know, because I think she said something about, you want to talk about, you know, I think being disappointed about something. I got to go back and read the messages. But still, she brought up the whole thing with Janaea. She brought up what happened, the stuff that I was doing when me and Mimi were cool. And again, the things she told me where she said, you know, you said you were doing this to get a reaction out of me. I told her, I don't remember that. But if I did say it, I am sorry. I truly am. Like, you might not feel that I am. You might not, you don't trust me. And I know you don't trust me. And I mean, it's okay to admit that. It's okay to say, I don't trust you. You know, I don't believe you'll make good on your word. I don't believe you're really being honest with me right now. You can say, you can say to me that I feel like you're just saying this because you want me to come back to you. But I'm not just saying it for that reason. But you can say that to me if that's how you're feeling. Just say to me, hey, I don't trust any of your words right now because I feel like you're just trying to get me back. And that when you get me back, you're going to act the same way. Because that's what I believe this whole thing is. That's why she keeps saying, you're not going to convince me. I've made my mind up. Now respect my decision, you know, la da 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 da. I feel like she's saying that simply because she does not trust me. And there was a time when Janae trusted the fuck out of me. Like, no matter what it was, she was still right there by my side. Like, like I told her, I said, what really hurts me is that she was the main one telling me, you know, that she was the best friend I have, you know, and that she even went as far as to say that she was my only friend, you know. She told me that she was the only one I could trust. Even said that I was the only one, that she was the only one that I needed. You know, and that she felt that way about me. You know, she told me she wasn't attracted to any other guys. But I told her, I said, if you are, it's okay. Because I told her, I said, what matters is what you do with that attraction. If you're attracted to somebody else, cool. But just as long as that attraction doesn't make you be like, well, I'm not attracted to you anymore because I think this guy looks better or I think this guy acts better, blah, blah, blah. You know, just as long as it's that you just saw somebody and they look attractive to you. You know, because see, there's a difference between being attracted to somebody and wanting them and just being attracted to somebody because they're pleasing on, you know, easy on the eyes. There's a big difference. But she swore up and down that no other guys were attracted to her. Despite how she would feel about certain celebrities like Michael B. Jordan, Bruno Mars, the guys in BTS, some other actors. I think I even recall her sharing something of Jason Momoa or something like that. which didn't bother me. But I guess what bothered me was her saying, well, I'm not attracted to anybody else, but then she's like salivating all over these pictures. And so I don't know if she was doing it just to get back at me because of how I would share certain celebrities. But like I told her, I said, again, there's no issue if she's attracted to them. The issue was that she was using it to, I guess, make me feel bad for finding a celebrity attractive. You know, but like I said, me finding these celebrities attractive, like Candace Patton or whoever, it was not because I wanted to be with them. I just thought the women were beautiful. I mean, there are a lot of beautiful people on earth, you know? But she's the only woman who's ever had my heart, you know? Like, and that's what I really feel like. Like, even though I said I was in love with a lot of women in the past, like I said I was in love with Sonya, I said I was in love with Kyra, and to be honest, I really was in love with Kyra. And at one point in time, I was in love with Sonya. But I wasn't in love with either of them the way that I love Janae. The way I love her, the way I just can't let this go. Because, like, even with me and Sonya and me and Kyra, whenever we would break up or be on the outs, you know, and even when I know that it was done for good, I went ahead and tried to move on and find somebody else. You know, like, even when I thought I was really in love with Kanisha, I still tried to find somebody else. But with Janae, I don't want anybody else. You know, it feels like I'm being, you know, wrong or unfaithful still, even though we broke up last year. We've been separated, or well, not separated. We've been broken up for a whole year and some months. So I feel like, my bad, I'm getting a little out of breath, but I feel like that me trying to find somebody else, trying to talk to somebody else, it just does not feel right to me. It is not organic. It does not feel natural. It doesn't bring peace to my soul. You know? Like, how I feel, you know, about her and, you know, everything we've been through. Because I get it. The stuff that we went through, it was toxic. You know, I know I always have to say that. I know I always say, you know, I get it. But I do get it. I do understand. But all I've wanted to do is just make good on every promise I ever made. You know, all I've wanted to do was just rectify situations, to fix things. I'm going to go and stop this here, record a third video. This is going to be one of them nights where I'm probably just going to be tired as hell from just venting. But it's what I have to do. But, alright.
What else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few done torn away, I'm in a bad mood. Please don't fuck with me today, what else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few done torn away, I'm in a bad mood. I bring, please don't fuck with me today. They say Prissy ain't on top of his shit, I beg to differ.